Hi guys, welcome back to math. So for today we are comparing fractions without visuals, and today we're going to focus on the butterfly method. And honestly, this is my favorite method. As long as you can name the fractions, you can use this method no matter what. So if I am comparing fractions and I have the pictures like we did the first time where it's like circles and rectangles, I can use this method still as long as I can name the fractions. And if I have number lines and I'm still not sure how to compare those by looking at them, what I can do is, as long as I know the name of the fraction, I can use this method as well. And this is like my tried and true. It's my favorite one, and you guys will probably see why. So our learning target is I can compare two fractions with different numerators and denominators using the less than, greater than, or equal to symbol. So my criteria, I'm going to multiply the first fraction, the denominator of the first fraction, by the numerator of the second fraction. So if I have 1/4 and 2/6, okay, I would multiply 4 times 2 is what that's saying. So, okay, so 4 times 2 is, well, it's 8. And then I'm going to multiply this denominator of the second, so that would be the 6, times the numerator of the first. So 1 times 6 is 6. And then I'm going to compare the two numbers. Well, which one's bigger? Hopefully you're thinking 8, right? And then because the 8 is right next to my 2/6, I'm going to say, okay, 2/6 is bigger, so I would rewrite it. Okay, and that's kind of what this person did here. They did 4/6 and 2/3, and when they compared them, they actually found out that they were equal because they got 12 when they multiplied. Okay, so now you're going to watch me do this first one. You already watched me do one, but it's always good to kind of get that reminder. So it doesn't matter what order I multiply, as long as I'm multiplying across. So as long as I end up multiplying 3 times 1 and 4 times 1, I'm fine. So I'm going to start with 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm going to go over to 4 times 1 is, 4 times 1 is 4. 4 is closer to 1/3. So 1/3 is the biggest because 4 is the biggest out of 4 and 3. Now some of you are going to be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Let's draw it out. Okay? I have this little piece for 1/4. For 1/3, I have this big honking thing. It's definitely bigger, okay? So we go by the shaded in area, not by the number. So 1/3 has more shaded in. So yeah, this method does actually work. And it's a lot simpler for some reason. I think sometimes looking at it, it gets difficult for some of us who are just like, we just want to look at the number. So this is a way for you to look at the number, or at least use the number, and actually compare correctly. So this one you're going to do with me, so go ahead and write 4/5 and 5/6. And then we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply 5 times 5 first. Go ahead and circle that and multiply 5 times 5. Pause the video if you need to. 5 times 5 equals 25, right? So now I'm going to multiply my 4 and my 6 because that's the second numerator and denominator pairing that I'm going to multiply. And when I do that, I'm going to get what? Pause the video if you don't already know. I'm going to get 24. Okay? Now I'm going to compare these numbers, 24 and 25. Which one is bigger? 25. What fraction is the 25 next to? It's next to 5/6. So 5/6 is the biggest fraction. So now I'm just going to insert my little alligator mouth, my less than sign. Okay? So 4/5 is less than 5/6. So in case you're wondering why this is called the butterfly method, when I do this, it kind of looks like a butterfly. That's a really bad example. But yeah, it kind of looks like a butterfly. So you're going to keep trying these with me. So go ahead and write 3/4 down and 2/3. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply across. So 4 times 2 is, pause the video if you need to, 4 times 2 is 8. And then 3 times 3 I'm going to multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to compare these two numbers. Which one is bigger, 9 or 8? Hopefully you're thinking 9. Okay, what fraction is next to the 9? 3/4. So 3/4 is bigger, so what symbol should I insert? That one, okay? So let's do this next one again. So I have 1/9 and 6/7, okay? And I need to compare these. So I'm gonna multiply a denominator by a numerator. So that's 9 times 6. Go ahead and figure out what that is. Pause the video if you need to. 9 times 6 is 45. Okay, or sorry, 45, 54. I wrote it, but I said it wrong. And then I'm going to multiply the other numerator and denominator. 1 times 7. 1 times 7 is 7. So now I'm going to compare these two numbers. Which is bigger, 7 or 54? Hopefully you said 54. So 54 is next to what fraction? 6/7. So now I am going to make my alligator mouth, eat 6/7. So 1/9 is less than 6/7. Okay, now you're gonna try first on these ones. So go ahead and try 3/12 and 1/4 and compare them. If you need to, there's these little, there is the criteria over here in case you are following that. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. So 3/12, 1/4. I'm gonna start multiplying. 3 times 12, or 12 times 1 is, 12, and 3 times 4 is also 12. They're the same. I multiplied, now I'm comparing and I think they're the same, so what should I do? I should insert an equal symbol. They're actually the same. Okay, so go ahead and try 1/3 and 2/6 and compare them. Okay, so 1/3 and 2/6, I'm going to multiply across. 3 times 2 is, it's 6, oops. And 1 times 6 is, it's also 6, multiplied. Now I'm comparing, 6 and 6 are the same, so I need to insert my symbol. And go ahead and try the last one. Okay, so you should have done 4/5 and 6/12, and you're gonna multiply across. 5 times 6 is 30, and then 4 times 12 is, if I don't know this off the top of my head, I can use what I learned in multiplication, either the lattice method or the traditional or the partial method. 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, 48. Okay, 48. So now I have 48 and 30. I need to decide which one is bigger. I'm thinking 48. 48 is next to 4/5. So 4/5 is the biggest fraction. If you're struggling with this, what I always do is I write the answer up at the top of the fraction. So I go from the bottom up and from the bottom up. That is how I kind of keep them separate, and you should be doing that. So if you found that you're getting them wrong, make sure that you're writing the answer that you get when you multiply at the top of your little circled area, okay? Not the bottom, because if I wrote 48 down here, I would have got 48 down here, I would have gotten the wrong answer, okay? Okay, so now you have your exit ticket. So you're gonna compare 1/4 to 2/8, 6/8 to 1/2, and 3/4 to 5/7. Okay, when you are done, you are going to make sure that you Zoom your teacher, okay? We want to know how you are doing, and the only way to do that is for you to Zoom us. Okay. Also, when you Zoom us, I want to see it completely written out. So I'm not giving you the answer. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but it needs to look like this, or like this, or like this. It needs to have the fractions written next to it, not just the symbol.